Hi friends, I'm Dr. Zubin. Today I'll be speaking on another remedy called Hypericum perforatum. So let's begin. Just a word of caution about these videos. These videos are mainly meant for educational purpose and in no means it should be replaced the advice given by the doctors for various conditions. So just for learning purposes and education purpose, you are welcome to have a look and listen to these videos. So let's begin today's topic called Hypericum perforatum. The common name of this remedy is St. John's wort. It belongs to family Hypericaceae. Main indication of this remedy is for the injuries involving the nerves, mainly the nerves of fingers and toes and tips of fingers which have been crushed. So crushed injuries are a good indication for hypericum. And the pains of the injured parts are very excruciating because of the involvement of the nerves and out of proportion to the injury involved. Also, it's good for punctured wounds with severe pain because of nerve injury again. There are a lot of spasms after injury and also for wounds and injuries resulting from bites of animals. And due to injury of nerves, there is a lot of inflammation of the nerves, which causes tingling, numbness, and burning of the injured parts. Also, good remedy for injury to the spinal cord. And as I've told you earlier, the wounds involving the punctured wounds from nails, needles, or pins, or from crushed injuries of fingers like while working in those of carpenters or shoemakers or any accidental injuries while working, hypericum would be a good remedy. Also for coccygodynia, which is painfulness of coccyx, the lower portion of the spine after the injury or fall. Another indication for which hypericum is indicated apart from injuries for asthmas, asthma which is worse from change of weather and asthmas which are worse during storm, before storm and damp weather. And the asthmatic attacks are better when there is lot of expectoration which has been removed. So better by copious expectoration. Another accompanying symptom is like constant drowsiness which is seen in the patient. Now coming to the mind symptoms, there is a lot of feeling in patients who need hypericum as if they have been lifted in the air. So levitation sensation is there in hypericum and there is a constant anxiety that he will fall from a height. So he's afraid of heights as well. He makes mistakes in writing, there's in a lot of melancholia and bad effects of shocks, especially shocks after injuries. Now going to the head symptoms, there's a feeling of icy cold hand on the head, sensation of being touched by the icy cold hands on the head. There is a throbbing pain in the vertex, which is worse in closed room, and a feeling in the brain as if been compressed. When pressed together, there's a lot of brain fag, neurasthenia, which is weakness, nervous weakness, and there's a lot of alive sensation in the brain, along with the headaches. Another symptom which accompanies the vertigo is there's a sensation as if the head is elongated. As I've told, it's also a good remedy for injuries to the skull from the splinter, some sharp pointed objects going in the skull. A lot of hair fall after injuries is another indication of hypericum. Now coming to the facial symptoms, there is pain along the right side of the face with facial neuralgia and toothache is accompanied with the sadness. So whenever there is a toothache, the patient is very sad and melancholic and the pain is of nerve type which is pulling and tearing in nature. Stomach symptoms, the patient loves wine, he craves for wine. There is an objective symptom, you can see the coating of the tongue at the base, backside, and the tip is relatively clean. There's a lump filling in the stomach. Then rectum symptoms, it's good remedy for hemorrhoids which are painful, bleeding and tender. and there's a lot of urging sensation in the rectum with dryness and pressing pains. Now back symptoms, there is a pain on the nape of the neck. Good remedy, as I've told, spinal concussion. There is a blunt trauma to the spine, as if after a fall in the bathroom or falling from slipping injury on the stairs. So coccygodynia, as told you earlier, injury of the coccyx, lower portion of the spine after a fall. And there is a sensation of pressure on sacrum with jerking and twitching of muscles. Because the nerves are involved, there is a spasm of the muscles as well. Then moving to the extremity symptoms. So it can be indicated for rheumatism, bunions or corns of the extremities, which are not related to the injuries, but the pains are very excruciating due to nerve involvement and out of proportion to the swelling and inflammation. So this is a good indication for hypericum. So moving back to the extremity symptoms, there are a lot of shoulder pains which are darting in character. Ulnar side of the arm is painful, as if from pressure. The pain in calves, cramping pains. Tip of the toes and the fingers are painful. Hands and feet, there is a lot of crawling sensation. And there are a lot of lancinating pains in both upper and lower limbs. So most important indication is the neuralgia, that is pains of the nerves after injury or trauma, which causes the inflammation of the nerves. Also, another indication seen is hysterical joints. So it is more of a subjective symptoms of the joints without much of inflammation, signs of inflammation. That is what it is called a hysterical joints. Now the respiratory symptoms, as I told you earlier, asthma, which is worse in foggy and damp weather and better by copious expectoration. Now moving to the skin symptoms, patient is having a lot of sweating, which is worse in the morning after sleep. Hair fall after injury, eczema of the hands and face with intense itching, and there is a sensation of eruptions under the skin without actual eruptions seen on the skin. So patient will many times say that I have sensation that something is erupting on the skin, but on objectively you can't see much of the eruption on the skin. So this is one of the indication of hypericum. So it can be indicated for herpes zoster where the nerves are involved due to neuralgic symptoms, and could be indicated for the ulcers and sores of the mouth which are sensitive to touch, and lacerated wounds. And following wounds, there is loss of blood which causes prostration, again weakness. So modalities, we'll repeat once again, which is worse from in general from cold and damp and foggy weather, worse in closed room, and worse from touch. Any injured parts are worse from touch. Patient in general is better by bending head backwards. So when you study hypericum, it's important to know more about ledum as well, because ledum is also indicated for punctured wounds and animal bites. But the sensitiveness of the pain is more marked in hypericum as compared to the ledum, which will help you to differentiate between these two remedies. Other remedies which help to differentiate, you need to differentiate are arnica, calendula, Staphysagra ruta, and coffea. So Staphysagra again is also a good remedy for the nerve injuries, but the injuries from the clean cuts, so surgical cuts or wounds due to the nerve injury, we think of Staphysagra, or some instrumentation like dilatation of the urethra or catheterization of the urethra, or post-operative pains of is a good indication for Staphysagra. Hypericum, if given, can be antidoted by remedies like arsenic and chamomilla. So when you can prescribe hypericum in any potency ranging from mother tincture to 3C or even higher potency depending on the symptoms of the patient. So this is a description of the remedy called hypericum. So take back message is that hypericum belongs to the injuries of the nerves and inflammation of the nerves. more of punctured wounds and crushed injuries, and asthma, which is worse in damp and foggy weather, will guide you to indicate the remedy Hypericum. So friends, hope you like this video on description of the Hypericum perforatum. And if you want to wish to see many more videos on Materia Medica, please do like and subscribe my channel for many such learnings. So thank you so much.